Hello, my name is Brittany, and this is my first YouTube video regarding my gastric bypass RNY procedure. I am 9 days post-op and had my first post-op appointment today with the surgeon and the dietitian, and that went really well. But I wanted to talk about like my first week, my results so far, and all of that. I know that different videos and websites were incredibly important when I was researching all of this, and I would, sit up late at night just watching different videos. So that was incredibly helpful. So if I can fill in any gaps or answer any questions that I know I had in the beginning, or just to give my perspective because it's going to be different for everybody, I figured I would do that. So I had the RMI procedure, and our surgeons, I was only in the hospital for one night. Woke up, definitely had that laparoscopic gas pain going on, which because they inflate your abdomen with gas so they can get around and put the tools in and all of that. And it's impossible to get all of it out at the end of surgery, even though they try. But and I swear my body just like holds on to that shit because I had a laparoscopy in January, and same thing, the gas is horrible, but it's not that bad. It's more annoying because you feel it gets stuck around your diaphragm and then plays and like pulls on your nerves and things. So it feels like you have shoulder pain, or it feels like for the first day it felt like I really slept on my shoulder wrong. But really what it is the gas just affecting the diaphragm and the nerve. So and the only way to get rid of that kind of gas, because it's not intestinal, so the only way to get rid of that kind of gas is to walk. So just walk your ass off. Like, seriously, that's all that's going to do it. Gas X, things like that, is not going to affect this kind of, like, I call it cavity gas, because you can feel it sometimes like in your abdomen. It's really weird. But then you pass it the same way, and it's just, it's odorless and all that. And so it was only bad probably the first 3 days, and it lessens each day. And then pretty much like by the fifth day, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a problem, and it's gone. Let's see here. I try to walk within my first hour of waking up, which was hilarious. So I, go to walk and have my husband and the night nurse, and which the staff was awesome. I have good luck with night nurses. I don't know why. They're all been really great and helpful. But I got really dizzy because I was only like an hour after surgery, and so I had to go back to my room. But probably about 4 hours later, I was up trying to walk again. And then by morning time, by probably like 6 a.m., I was starting to do a few laps around the hospital wing. And that's so helpful. It's going to get your muscles going. It's, you're just trying to get that gas out. And it was great. I was able to sip water right away, and we also were able to have broth right away. Tolerated everything just fine. I've actually had zero issues sipping water or eating any of the foods, whether they be the pureed stage or the soft mushy foods. I try to keep a beverage with me at pretty much all times. I broke down and bought a bottle of that's squirted in flavoring. This is the Arnold Palmer half and half iced tea lemonade because I just needed something extra for the flavor. I generally enjoy water, but it's different now because it's such a focus on water, and instead of just having, like gulping down a glass or two a couple times a day, or having it with meals or sipping it, whatever, like you're just this consistent, constant sipping, because you're not going to be able to take it in, and you're not able to drink water while you eat for a half hour prior or half hour before. So because it can lead to comfort issues, and it can also actually wash out the nutrition sooner than you want it to, because you're not eating very many calories and not a lot of food. So your body needs to be able to hold on to the nutrients as well as it can. So definitely sipping on water a lot. My first week was the liquid and then like additional. So I could actually have mashed potatoes very early on. Um, so I did. I was just happy to have like some flavoring because you get a little tired of broth. And I also really enjoyed having tomato soup, so that was a good one to throw in there. And then at a week, we could move to the pureed mushy food stage. So I've actually, like yesterday, I had turkey and avocado. And then this morning for breakfast, I had tuna and avocado. So I just love that. And so it's some good protein, some healthy fats. I just put a little lemon pepper. I'm going to be buying a food scale. So for right now, I'm mostly either measuring it if it's liquid or dry. And I'm going to get a food scale though, because I have had like zero issues with feeling really full all of a sudden. Some people, well, I digress. Yesterday I bought Smart Balance peanut butter because it had a good calorie count and a little added protein, all that. And wasn't filled with a whole bunch of chemicals because I really try to not have too much food with too many chemicals in it. At least I'm trying. But I had too much peanut butter and I seriously felt like I was about to just like burst with peanut butter. Like it was just going to come seeping out of me. And then we're probably talking, I overindulged a little. I really did. It was kind of my first indulgence, I guess, since like being on a little bit of liquid pre-op and then the post-op and all that. So I probably had a tablespoon like over the serving size, and I was eating it with like half a banana. And it was too much. Like just for the next like hour, I just felt like I seriously like peanut butter was going to be coming out of my pores. And so I started like sipping some water, and I think, what did I sip on? Maybe some broth or something, and it kind of helped. But yeah, no, I won't be ever doing all that peanut butter. But I've had zero issues with dumping, and some people want to have the dumping syndrome. Uh, you know, I don't know. It could still happen, but I know some people that can't tolerate bananas or can't tolerate, things like that, and I've been fine on. So I'm wondering if I'm going to be one of those people that does not get dumping syndrome. And I figure just the portion control will have to be and then not having the hunger hormone, because let me tell you, it's very different. Whereas before, because I love food, as before I would, think about it and plan it out, and like on the weekend, after surgery, my husband kept waiting for me to bring up breakfast or bring up lunch or bring up dinner, because I enjoy cooking, I enjoy planning foods, and then there's just the fact that I just love food. So he was waiting for me to do it, and I just never thought about it. It was kind of funny and a huge change for me. So that was really interesting and a stark difference from, like a week prior. So that was interesting. But, so for me, dumping syndrome may not be a deterrent, but we will see, because I'm still starting certain foods. Let's see here. I'm doing my vitamins. I'm getting in probably 48 ounces of water or so. Also have no issues with the water. Started walking. My mom and I went for a good close to 2-mile walk yesterday, and I did some biking this morning. So I'm excited about that. Let's see here. What else? So I'm 9 days, and I think there's a lot of pressure to lose a crazy amount of weight in a very quick amount of time. Some people are online talking about, I lost 1,000,000 pounds in the first 2 weeks, and great for them. Not everybody's going to be the same. So as long as you're doing what you should be doing, and having your water, having your protein first, and making sure that you're following the guidelines and all that, then you're fine. My doctor was happy with my numbers and all that, so therefore I am too. I'm very excited for this next part of the journey. I'm a little concerned about saggy skin. I just am. I didn't think I honestly would care, but as I started thinking about it, it kind of was a little bit of a concern of mine. So if that were to be something, a big issue, some people have the need for a big tummy tuck just because of how much excess skin they have, then, you know, we would look at that possibility. Or a boob lift. I told my husband years ago, I was like, after we have kids, I'm getting them lifted, I'm getting them filled up a little bit, because when you already have big boobs, you know, gravity, life, it just takes an effect. And they're not like horrible, but I knew that as I got older and then had kids, that it would just, you know, just kind of deflate. So I'm totally fine in a few years getting a little bit of a lift and an enhancement. So we'll see about that. But I'm really excited because I do have PCOS and pre-diabetic, and I've been that way for several years, and I was working on it, and I actually brought my numbers down, but no other comorbidities. I actually have crazy low LDL, which is like some other issue. A bit of a vitamin D deficiency, but other than that, good blood pressure, no actual diabetes or anything like that. So, but very interested to see how the blood sugar, how quickly that goes down, and then how quickly my activity level will go up. I'm very excited because we love to camp and kayak and hike, but I always feel like I can't do as much as I want to do. And I became honest with myself about that this past year or so, because I always thought that, you know, I don't let my weight stop me from anything. Until it became very apparent that there's quite literally things that it's stopping me from. You know, there are things that have weight limits, like zip lining. I want to go in a shark cage, and if you're over 250, you have to prove that you're athletically okay. So I'm like, I don't want to show up and, you know, be like, oh, okay, I don't know how to prove to you that I'm okay, that I can swim the distance, but, you know, I can. So there's just some things that I really am excited for. I don't want to stop and be pretending to take pictures on a hike so that I can catch my breath. That's something that, you know, has been my entire life, and, you know, always the last one to PE, and, you know, by choice, especially in high school, if I, you know, went to PE. But now I think I am finally ready for the other part of it. So I'm very excited. So this is my first video, and I'm going to do another one talking about the whole weight and losing weight and getting in the right frame of mind for it. But I wanted to get the kind of surgery part of it out of the way. And yeah, so this is my first video. I wanted to try and do a kind of a body shot. So I can go this way. And there's my vacuum cleaner. But, so this is me today. Okay. You'll see me pose like that a lot in pictures. So yeah, this is my first video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to update you guys really soon. Thank you.